I'm just gonna briefly talk about my project part 1 and part 2. In project part 1, I want to find if the number of storms increases by the year, and I do this by first grouping the data by season and storm ID. This is to get the distinct storm IDs each year and or each season. This way, I don't just if a storm ID appears like 100 times in the data, I don't count them 100 times. I just count them one time, and I do summarize, and then I group by season again, and then summarize by the count. Then to get the number of distinct storm IDs each season or just each year, and I got a data table like this. From this data table, it's not very obvious. It's not very obvious if the number of storms increases each year. That's why I need a graph, and I plotted a line graph using ggplot, and then I also included a regression line to try to make the plot a little bit clear. But I think from the regression line is basically just horizontal line. It's not much information can be get from the regression line. But I think from those spikes in the data, I think it's reasonable to say the number of storms increases maybe a little bit by the year. And then in my project part 2, I want to see if the speed of storm increases by the year. This part is a bit easy. I just group by the season, and then summarize using a main function to get the mean speed of the storm. I think this is a reasonable approach. And similarly, we got a similar data table as the last one, and then from this I did a similar plot, a ggplot of line plot, and then a regression line as well. And from this plot, I think it's real clear. It's really clear that the wind speed increases by the year.